Uh, how you doing today? I just want to get on here and speak for a minute. I just got through praying about 5 minutes ago, and as I was praying, I come to about the end of my prayer. I seen a bald eagle on my right and a golden eagle on my left, and the bald eagle took off first, and it went from my left to my right. The golden eagle took off first. It went from, because it was on the left side of me, and the bald eagle was on the right side of me. The golden eagle took off first, and it went from the left going over to the right, and the bald eagle took off going from the right over to the left. And I thought, first thing I thought about was an X, and that really wasn't resonating as I was thinking about it. So as I was praying, I was asking the Lord, what do this mean? What do this mean? And wasn't getting no answer. And I was asking the Lord, where's the difference in the strength of it? And I had the Jezebel spirit in the spirit realm. And the Jezebel spirit began, Jezebel spirit began to speak to me and try to tell me there's no difference in the strength in the two birds. So someone feeling right because of the way that I was hearing, so I continued to pray and to push. And I began to ask the Lord, what's really going on? Why are you showing me this? So as I began to push and to pray, and the other voice began to fade away, and just, basically I know, okay, Lord, why is I'm seeing these two birds? And it was just odd that I seen the two together, because I ain't never heard them, and I love watching National Geographic and stuff like that. I ain't never seen when the two birds was together or none of that. You know what I mean? They might cross territory, but I'm talking about far as, them flying and playing together like that, look, stuff like that. So it just was kind of odd to see both of them there, and then one of them on the left side and one on the right. So I went, as I asked the Lord, is there any difference in the strength or not? And like I said, Jezebel spirit began to speak, and it's cutting off as far as, like certain countries had animals like Great Britain. I think they got the lion over there in Great Britain and so forth and so on. So the bald eagle red, and it took off going to the left, and that was coming to me. It came to me about wrong direction. So I was sitting up there thinking about, one being a gold eagle and the other one being a bald eagle. And something that I heard, I can't pronounce his name, I know it's Tommy or Romy or something like that. And when he was talking about the golden age, I went to thinking about that too. Did not come to me about it, but I went to thinking about it. But early in my prayer, before I had got to seeing these two eagles, you know what I mean, I was also praying to the Lord about David E. Taylor, Dr. Bynum's, Brian Kern, and just a whole lot of other men and women of God that at one point in time I was following and listening to, and I was asking the Lord to touch their hearts and turn them back to Him. And as I was, asking them that, and I was thinking about the different ones, and, like calling out their names in the spirit or whatnot, asking the Lord to have mercy, and saying to the Lord, why should we pay for something that never had, that never should have had been? And I was just talking to him about how, because of what Adam and Eve did with Satan and the fall, you know what I mean? Why should we, so many, taking have to pay, for that? Just talking and trying to get a better understanding. I know that we got my Lord and Savior Yeshua, Jesus Christ of Nazareth, that redeemed us. I believe in the blood. I believe in the sacrifice. I believe in all that. And, but I just wanted to just try to get a better understanding of why. And as I was doing that and talking to him about them, and asking him to, touch their hearts and turn them back to him, because, I hate to see great, powerful anointings like that, you know what I mean, be used by Satan, you know, and we need every soldier on the battlefield right now, you know, because this is real serious, man. And this country got to stop playing around with Iran. This country got to stop playing around with China. You know, we got Trojan horse inside here. And just, you know, people just doing everything, including me, but what God is saying. You know, and I believe the vision that I had, you know, even though Jezebel was trying to interrupt it in the spirit realm, you know, I had already seen the cauldron being destroyed. You know, and I seen more than one cauldron being destroyed. And I had this vision about every 4 or 5 months. So I know I'm battling with a bunch of witches and warlocks and a bunch of people, you know, is coming together doing things, you know, that don't want to see me go in the right direction, or other people too, you know. And it's extremely bad, these witches and warlocks in the church. But I know that God can touch the hearts and change people because he did it with me. But anyway, getting back to the eagles, the 2 eagles. And God was telling me, because the bald eagle, he was telling me that was going in the wrong direction. And the gold eagle taking and flying to the right was the right direction. You know, and so I ended up finding out that the golden eagle, when he hunt bigger prey than the bald eagle. And he do what he do by brute force. Okay? By brute force. And the bald eagle is more like where he catch fish, you know, hunting for fish. And one of them, the golden eagle talents is a little bit stronger than the bald eagle. But so there is a slight difference in as far as power and strength. But I found it interesting that, you know, it said that the golden eagle do what he do by brute strength, and then it being said to me that the country was going in the wrong direction by the bald eagle flying off to the left, and they're supposed to represent this country. And I'm thinking about some of the things that are being done by brute force, or having to be done by brute force, that has been done wrong. So I'm thinking about all of that as I'm thinking about the vision that I had. So like I said, I was praying for Dr. Bynums and David E. Taylor, Pastor David E. Taylor, and Brian Carn and other people. And as I did this, a holler came from out of me. I mean, a real holler. And when this holler came from out of me, I seen trees just falling. Now, that's the second time this week that I done prayed that I done seen trees falling. And usually when I had a tree, see the vision of trees falling, something bad is getting ready to happen that's linked to people in power and authority. If had them videos taking post for 2018 and 19, y'all will see that what I'm saying is true. Every time I had it, and the second time this week. And this week when I was praying, when I ended up praying for the hour and 37 minutes, I just went to hollering out, giants will fall. Many giants fall. I just was hollering them out and saying trees fall. So, you know, I'm hearing that giants will fall, and, you know, but, you know, not just a shift in the church, but a great shaking. So I'm thinking about that, and I'm thinking about the 2 birds, one going in one direction, one taking and doing what he doing in brute strength, and the other one that's taking and flying out and going in the wrong direction, doing things wrong. So I'm trying to take and digest what it is that I'm receiving. Is it some things that needs to be done in brute strength, and in doing so, it has to be done with wisdom? Is it saying that? You know what I mean? Because the thing in Venezuela, I think that had to be done. The way that this is going on with ICE, I think is absolutely not right in the way that it's being done, but it must be done. So, you know, it's kind of, you know what I mean? You know, we know that we got to use strength, but we also got to use it with wisdom and understanding too. So it's a lot of things that is going on that's wrong on both sides. And a nation or country that's divided can't stand. Can't stand. Won't stand. And it's been proven throughout history. If you go and do research on ancient Rome or ancient Egypt, just before each one of them got ready to fall, it was conflict within. So we got to start thinking about all of that. All of it. And, you know, all this stuff happening with birds. And I was praying, and it come to me that the Pirates wasn't going to defeat the Hawks. And I'm sitting up, the Pirates is New England Patriots playing against, I told y'all about that in the video. Then the ones that lost, that was called the Pirates, had to score 13. And then there's another man that had a vision about a hawk catching a dove. And, you know, I heard Joseph C. break down and say, talking about how the dove, yeah, we know that the dove represents the Holy Ghost. We know that, but it started speaking to me in another way. That the hawk, you know what I mean, was catching that was false. That was false. We know that it's going to be, I gave a warning last year about a false move of God. So you stop and you think about that, and you think about the New England Patriots losing, but it's been coming to me about pirates. What do pirates do? Pirates steal and do all kind of wicked stuff. Charlie Kirk, after 13 years serving, got killed. Sign. All those are signs. You know, so I'm sitting up there, I'm thinking about that, because you take and you break the score down 29 to 13. In between that, you got 7 and you got 9. Okay, that adds up to 16. That takes us back to Ishmael again. Okay. Go to Genesis chapter 16. Okay. All right. Here's another little nugget for you. Okay. Now here it is. In between that, the 16 breaks down to 7. So that takes us right back to the number 7. Jeremiah chapter 7, when God was taking them, giving a message, warning the Democrats and the Republicans, both. Zechariah chapter 7 is going right back to 7, the warning that God gave me to get at President Trump about Colin Kaepernick. And you Democrats, y'all need to quit it too. Need to seriously quit it. Because there's some people in this country that do not like this country. Do not. There's many nations throughout the world that want to see this nation fall. Truly want to see it. Y'all see they're praying in the mosques for it to happen. You see that they're doing it. And they're not the only ones. No, I don't tell them what China done already pulled off in here that we've been completely asleep on because of greed. Nation has sold its soul and can still continue to do it. I didn't know, and like I said, I have nothing against the Arab, but I didn't know that the Arabs own as much land as they do here in Michigan. Find out stuff a little bit at a time. And now they started to move from out of Denver all into one. They're doing it everywhere in Michigan. I don't think they done got it. I ain't been up north, so I can't really tell you about up there, but, you know, in the other place, I walked through it. I'm saying I don't have nothing against them, but they're making it clear that they don't want to integrate in that way. And not all of them, but more. A lot of them making it known. And I'm telling you, when they come together and they pray like that, in a large group like that, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, They praying to all that power of them together, and people say, oh, they ain't got no power. A lot, God made it clear what two or more got on one accord. Acts chapter 1, when it got to talking about the 120, it was on one accord. You don't think that an evil spirit react like that, acknowledge all that power? That's how you open up portals and gates and stuff like that. Now, agreement is a powerful thing. And remember, God gave that power to each and every one of us. It's how we use it. And they coming together in masses doing what they're doing. We need to wake up on it. We need to take and pay attention to all the other places. Like I'm finding out, you know what I mean? I'm sitting up here thinking about Isaiah chapter 19. And where it talks about in Isaiah chapter 19, verse 25, about when God takes and brings Egypt, Assyria, and Israel together. And for years I've been thinking, okay, when he was talking about Chrislam, you know what I mean, maybe the step, and then I started realizing that certain things had to happen before that happened. So it ain't gonna happen through Chrislam, or whatever they call it. It ain't gonna happen that way. And these other things that happening, that's gonna happen, we got to be prepared for it. They ain't playing, y'all. Think about y'all kids, okay? And the Republicans, you know what I mean? I'm glad some of y'all speaking out about certain things, because y'all got to do that. And all y'all prophets and men and women of God that's around President Trump, you know what I mean? You know, y'all got to start speaking up and speaking the truth. God got them in there for a reason, but that spirit of pride and people, I ain't just getting on here talking about, I've been giving a warning about this since what? I started warning him about Colin Copeland back in 2018. The same spirit is trying to come back again. A mistake was made. You know, apologize for his people that made the mistake, and let it be known that, you know, under his watch, that it ain't gonna be. People make mistakes. You know, but, you know, not to sit up here and admit that a mistake was made and that you are sorry that it happened, that's something wrong. Something wrong with that. I got to say that. Because you said you watched a part of it and it was okay, but you didn't watch the whole thing. I'm trying to figure out, you know what I mean? You know, okay, the part that you watched, you seen was okay. You didn't see that, so I understand you saying, okay, well, what I seen was okay, then have that in there. You know, the other person is responsible. Then make the other person step up that did that and apologize. Because it was wrong. You know, and I know that a lot of things happen up under the Obama administration that shouldn't have happened. So I'm in agreement with y'all on that. You know, lighting the White House up like a rainbow and all that. You can't mock God in that way, and that's what they did. So I'm in agreement with you Republicans on that. But, you know, two wrongs don't make nothing right. You know, and it's only two genders, male and female. So you did right with that. There's a lot of stuff that you're doing that is right that they wouldn't do. But when you see the little bitty hurdles that people are trying to put in front of the great thing that God wants you to do, you got to step up, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't flying my plane that way. I'm just going to get crushed right then and there. And crush it instead of letting them be able to take and talk about it for 4 or 5 days. You know, you can crush it. Just like y'all went on there and did that in Venezuela. Y'all plan to crush it. Don't give them nothing like that, because I'm telling y'all, right now, there's something going on in the spirit realm with a lot of people that's really starting to wonder what's really going on with this administration. And these people out there have voted for you. including me. I'm like, Lord, I know you got him in there for a reason, but I'm seeing now what the warning that you gave me about Zechariah and Jeremiah is hollering out loud again. And it don't have to be. Y'all have all three: House of Representatives, the Senate, and the White House. Don't let them get this back. And please, somebody out there, if you watching this that really understand Deuteronomy chapter 32, please, in the mighty name of Yeshua Jesus Christ of Nazareth, do a thing on that. From verse 23 to 32, and explain it to the people. Really explain it to them. Because right now, verse 28 is hollering. I'm just going to read verse 28, and I did this many a times with the same scripture. And we either in the year or we done passed the year up. Will have to take and count it again, but Deuteronomy chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 28, it says, "For they are a nation void of counsel, neither is there any understanding in them." Now, I think that was either 5785 last year or 5786 this year. I'm not for sure. We'll have to take and do all the numbers anyway, but those verses lines up with the year that we in. And if you pay attention to what the next verses say, 29, he said, "Oh, that they were wise, that they understood this, that they would consider their latter end." These are the years we're in right now. Those verses line up with the years we're in right now. People like Troy Bryars, Perry Stone, they understand it. Jonathan Cahn, they understand it way better than me. And I could break it down, but could break it down way better than me. But those verses are lining up with the years that we are in. This right here just played out with Israel. I think it's either verse 23 or 24. "I will heap mischief upon them. I will spend my arrows upon them." Verse 23. "They shall be burnt with hunger and devoured with burning heat and with bitter destruction. I will also send the teeth of the beast upon them with the poison of the serpent of dust." I'm going to read one more verse 25. "The sword without and the terror within shall they, both the young and the virgin and the suckling with the man of gray hair." We just seen all that play out in the last 4 or 5 years between Russia and this that happened over there in Israel. Those verses line up with those years. They know this. Okay? They know this. So y'all Democrats taking the flame, y'all, we got to work together, man. We do. China want to see this country fall. Russia want to see this country fall. Got a whole lot of other Arab nations that want to see this country fall. And there's people that we think are not. Anyway, I think that the vision that the man had with the hawk catching the dove, I think that dove that the hawk got, it was the Lord saying, you know, this false move that's trying to be here, he's going to raise up some people that's going to expose it, and it's going to be crushed. You know, we know the dove represents the spirit, but there's a lot of stuff going on that's not right, and you can see the false moves that people are trying to portray in the church right now. I think God is saying he's going to crush that. And it's real. The people that really, really love him going to begin to rise up. And he's going to start, just like what come to him, he's going to start backing up what they say. And they're going to be 3-4 years later. It's going to be within this time. So, like I said, the bald eagle went one way, you know, and I was told that represented going in the wrong direction. And the golden eagle, it went to the right. You know, and we know that it's a stronger eagle. I don't come to find out. You know, and you got you call it a gold eagle, and the other a young prophet Tommy Arami, I can't pronounce his name. It went to talking about the golden age. So I think it's speaking in all them terms, in all those ways, just like the hawk catching the dove is speaking about, I believe, about a false move of God that God's going to crush, and that got revealed through the Hawks defeating. It was called the Pirates. It came the Hawks, the Patriots were going to lose to the Hawks. So if you stop and you think about that, it's also revealing that there's some people that's calling themselves Patriots that's not. And they only scored 13 points. That's reflecting that with Charlie Kirk to me. And then the in between was 16 points. The loss was, and that breaks down to 7. That's going right back to that 7 and right back to Ishmael the flush. So it has to be a spirit thing, but not a false move of God. He's not going to allow it. And if the church don't step up and listen to him so it can be squashed, then we're going to be squashed. Okay, have a blessed day. Love y'all.